There's a lot of noise in the world right now, and there's a lot of discussions taking place around overconsumption and consumerism. And it's a conversation that I think we need to be having in the homeschool space. So I sat down and I thought about it, and I examined what the overconsumption in the homeschool space is looking like, what's happening. And I had a realization. I don't think that consumption in the homeschool space comes from the same motivations. I don't think as homeschool moms we have a curriculum problem. I think we have a never feels like enough problem. And I don't think that buying more is going to fix it. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna, and if you are new here, we're a homeschooling family of 4. We are entering our 10th year of homeschooling, and today I want to talk with you about overconsumption in homeschool and life. Before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. We all do it. We sit down and we start planning and we get excited and we hear about new things, and it's the perfect time of year to start shopping for next year, and we find a curriculum, and then we find one more, and then we find one more, and then we find one more. Lately, I've been noticing how easy it is to feel like your homeschool needs one more tweak, one more improvement, one more curriculum, one more sticker chart, one more planner, one more piece, one more subject. And it builds and it snowballs. And I don't think that this is just about homeschooling anymore. I am guilty of thinking that the next cleaner is going to be the one that finally helps me keep my bathroom spotless. The next thing is going to be what feels like enough. It's going to be the missing piece that helps me get life in order, that helps me get organized, that helps me stay motivated, that helps me eat right, that helps me exercise. We are conditioned, and part of it is the way of the world. Social media, influxes, constant barrage of ads that target you. We are made to feel like we are not enough because we don't have everything figured out, because we haven't made every single check on our checklist. But I want to remind you that, especially right now, when the world is noisy, when the world is hard, when the world is wildly expensive, that you don't need more. You don't need one more thing. You don't need one little piece that's going to magically make all of the other pieces fall into place. And I have to tell you this because I need to hear it. I am so guilty of thinking that we are one half step away. We are one more project. We are one tiny little piece away from finding enough, from feeling good about it, from finding success. Like I said, I am guilty of this in so many aspects of my life, and I know that many of you are too. Let's take an opportunity as we are heading into the summer season to pause and think about what we already have, what we already use, what we already trust, to figure out if we can maximize the value in what we already have, to figure out if the piece we already have that we can use maybe differently is the way to do it. And I understand, I know where this comes from. This comes from decision fatigue. This comes from pressure. This comes from a feeling of not feeling like you are enough, or like you're doing enough, or your home is clean enough, or your kid has learned enough, or you're covering enough subjects. I do understand the root and the cause of it, but I just want you to know that until we name it and until we identify it and until we actively take a stance to make a change, we are going to continue to fall victim to the systems that are in place that are genuinely meant to prey on us, to get us to buy one more bottle of cleaner, one more magic pill, one more cure-all, one more snake oil for whatever it is that ails us. And it is things like decision fatigue. I know I personally am so exhausted by the thought of all the things we need to be doing and working and heading into, starting high school next year. Something that I know I don't always thrive when I feel intimidated. So finding ways to use what you have, finding ways to use what you've purchased, finding ways to tweak and perfect what you've already done, what you've already put in place, so that you do actually use things, you do actually stay consistent with them, is exhausting. The biggest piece for me that I always come back to for how I have had to maximize what we're already doing is the Michael Clay Thompson Language Arts program, because it is so much and it's so meaty. And if you want to talk about an instant look into overconsumption, every time I purchase a level, it is easily 15 physical separate books. And that is a glaring example of how it is much. Is it good? Yes. Does it work for us? Yes. In the way they want it to work for us? Absolutely not, because that doesn't resonate with me. So finding the actual way to use a thing, finding the actual value in a piece, that is where I want you to take a minute as we're heading into, the breaks between summer. If you take a summer break, take a minute and evaluate, what does your homeschool look like? Because it doesn't look like one more magic basket to keep it organized. I know. And I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do, okay? Because I know for myself, if I sit and think and allow it to sit, and I sit and I think, I can come up with a solution that does serve me well. So maybe it is one more basket, but usually I've sat with that process and allowed that process to really kind of consume me for a bit to maximize the output that I'm going to get with the input being minimal. As we're heading into another homeschool year, I think it is really important to talk about the mental clutter, the stress that comes along with having to get, acquire, source, fund, all of the things that do come into another homeschool year. I know this video isn't just about homeschool, it's about life and overconsumption and going into another season and heading into another season of life when really we are targeted to get all the stuff for back to school, get everything for your, kiddo going off for college. It is seasonally a high pressure time to do those things. So we're all going to be feeling this in every aspect of our life. I just want to come here and be a voice of reason that reminds you that yes, overconsumption is wild in every aspect of your life, including homeschool. And there are a few steps that we can take to try to clear the mental clutter, to try to part the foggy clouds that do sneak in and creep into our decision making. Figure out what it is that you need. Figure out what it is that you have. So often I know that I am served very well by just figuring out what I already have in a space to figure out how to use it. I want you to be reminded that yes, some things can seem a lot. Some things can seem overwhelming. We are all tired and it's hard to continue making these decisions in this high pressure situation day in and day out. It is so easy to recognize or to feel like we aren't doing enough. It can be so difficult to recognize that we've gone too far. It is so hard to recognize that we have purchased too much, acquired too much, allowed too much noise into our decision-making process, that I just want you to consider making purchases a little slower. evaluating what you already have, and really sitting with what you actually need. We are headed into a season that is inevitably changed, because whether you do homeschool through the summer or not, having that kind of seasonal turnover, we're trained to believe that there is an ending in May and a starting in September. So we do have an opportunity for a reset. Let's all reset where we are able. Let's try to avoid the noise and the pressures that come with overconsumption, especially when as homeschoolers, as parents who've chosen to shoulder the burden of our children's education, we are making decisions or feeling the pressure to make decisions from a place of feeling not enough, from a place of feeling like we need to do more, from a place of feeling like what we have isn't good enough and that one more thing will be the answer, the lock, the key in the lock, the magic thing that makes it all fall into place. That's just not how it works. And there's going to be a lot of people telling you, you need this, you need that, do this, do that. I'm going to tell you right now, don't do it. Take an extra day. This came up for me in childbirth of all places. But it was the type of preparation class that we took with my first. It was a reminder that there are very few actual emergencies in life. Very few. You will encounter very few of them, even when you are in labor and about to have a baby. There is almost always time to stop, check in with yourself, with your spouse, with your homeschool, and make a plan. Very few things are as high pressure, time-based, intense as they seem. So let's work together to remind ourselves that you very likely already have the tools in your pocket. You don't need one more thing. There's nothing out there that's going to serve you any better than the tools that you already have. And I'm not saying you don't need to do any of the things. I am just saying make a good, grounded, unemotional, intentional decision that is not rushed and it is not stressed, okay? The cleaning saying, and it is essentially that it is in the motion, not the potion. So it doesn't matter what you're, buying or acquiring, that next new thing isn't going to magically get the ring out of your toilet. It's going to be you putting in the work and scrubbing it. So a sad, sad reminder that there's not a cure-all, there's not a fix-all, but wouldn't it be nice? I just want to tell you something that I know I currently need to hear. I feel the pressure that if we could just get the thing, if we could just have the right bin, if we could just make the right steps, get the magic pen, whatever it is, that it would all fall into place. It would be easier and it would be effortless and we would feel great and it would be magically enough and the whole world would sing sunshine and roses and daisies and the birds would be chirping. But that's not how it works. There isn't a magic cure-all button. There is not a magic thing that's going to make everything fall into place. It's going to be those hard things that I always come back to, consistency and effort in a world that's telling you to buy more. And then the opposite of that, where the world is telling you to do nothing, to be totally minimalist, to stop consuming all things. I don't want to be either one of those. I want you to remember to do all of these things with intention and not from a place of emotion or stress. I hope that you have found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you have, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. In all things, I hope that you hear my intent. I don't want to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, and I come here and share so that you can see what we do, so that hopefully your life, your path is a little bit easier. I am not going to tell you buy more. I'm not going to tell you to buy less. What I hope that you do is buy with intention, buy with clarity, and buy without emotional pressures. You are enough. You're doing a great job. What you are doing is very likely enough. Please do not listen to the noise telling you to do more. Do not listen to the noise telling you to do absolutely nothing, but somewhere in the middle. Find the place where you feel good, where you feel content, and where you just aren't feeling those pressures. Don't listen to them and don't give in. And I'll do my best to do the same. Guys, thanks for coming back. I would love to hear down in the comments if you recognized a time when you were maybe overconsuming in life or in homeschool, and then recognized what that really was. Because so often it isn't like, oh, that's it, that's a thing. It does come from a pressure, from a noise, from an emotion, from something that you were carrying, from something that you were feeling less than. I would love to hear that, because I do think it's going to help all of us when we work together, when we say the thing, when we name it, when we identify it, and we speak it out into the world. It's going to help us free ourselves from that. And that's what we need, because we want to be well prepared. Again, the world is a lot of noise right now, and I don't want to be more of that for you. I hope that I can give you a little bit of relief when it comes from pressures and stresses and things like that. And I hope that together, by sharing, we can make every day magic.